All right, so welcome back, guys, to
Build,
Scale,
Done.
Done.
Woo! All right, now we got people joining us. Nice.
Yes, we all sound energetic because we just ate.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the Q&A based off of the Shopify store setup, as well as the store conversion tips, if you guys had any questions on that. So let's go ahead and begin with that.
Okay, Chef has a question. What is the best POD app for Shopify? I'm going to answer some of these questions to the best knowledge that I know because POD Thomas has a lot of knowledge on this, but just my experience, I had a little experience with POD just with Gear Bubble and Printful. There's this site called Guten. I would not recommend using that because their platform is very not user friendly at all, at least not right now. So Printful is pretty cool. Gearbulb was pretty cool. I think these are the things that I've used for print on demand products, for summer products that we tested before, and it worked pretty well for me, especially when it comes to mugs. Gearbulb is amazing, but I will also look at the pricing. I think they're around the same prices. Look at their processing time, look at the cost of goods, what makes more sense for you. But these two will be the ones that I kind of recommend. But for more information on POD, we could ask Thomas more about that.
So yeah, there's a lot of different PODs out there. And another big one is Pillow Profits. And Thomas actually knows the founder of Pillow Profits. Pillow Profits is really cool because they have the pillows, and right now they're doing a lot of the shoes, like the Chuck Taylor shoes, as well as women's boots. So that apparently is a big thing right now. We have not tested those. Question. Oh, how many day delivery time for Gear Bubble?
If I remember correctly, but double check this. I think it was about 5 to 7 days for delivery time.
Business days,
and maybe a little bit longer on the site. That's what it says. I remember during that time when I was doing it, they said, okay, so this is how many business days for them to process it, and then they take about 3 to 5 more business days or 7 business days to ship it. And after calculation during that time, maybe they change, I don't know, double check on this. I was like, okay, that's about 2 to 3 weeks still, kind of like drop shipping. But I think they're just saying that just in case it takes longer. I do believe they are faster than drop shipping from AliExpress. So
cool. What other questions we got?
What app to use for upsell? Oh, you found it.
Yeah, so there are a lot of different thoughts on upsells. So the ones that I would recommend is one-click upsell. That's the one we're going to use in our store following this year. We just didn't have a chance to integrate it all. So the difference, here's the thing. Regular upsell apps, they work, but the problem is a lot of these apps, they slow your load time down, right? And I'm a person I would rather them purchase first and then I can retarget them later versus trying to get them to buy more in the beginning and end up losing a sale. So a lot of these upsells are kind of, we tried one that was really good. It looked really good and we put it on our theme, and then all of a sudden it slowed everything down by like 3 seconds, and it was like glitchy, and it just didn't work out for us. So for those, I just, I think there are some that probably work okay, but for now, I would recommend one-click upsell, OCU, which is Ezra Firestone's. And it's a little bit more complicated though, because you have to actually integrate it into your, there's like a process. You have to like mess with it. So what happens is it actually goes into OCU's checkout. So Shopify actually doesn't record the statistics as well, because now you're not checking out from Shopify, you're going into an outside checkout. And the reason for this is because why one-click upsell is so cool is because you when somebody purchases, they purchase and then the upsell comes. So you've already saved their credit card number, you've already saved the transaction, it's already there, they've already bought. So even if they say no to the upsell, they've already bought, but you have a chance for the upsell. So now it's like, okay, I've secured the sale. Now I'm going to try and get something else. But because of the way that it's set up, it's outside of Shopify's checkout. So those are just some things to think about. And yeah, Thomas actually has figured out a way to track the OCU upsell sales in a really good way, which we're going to have to ask him when he comes back.
Okay. So which app for trust badges is the best? How about Custom Cat? That's a question.
That's a great question. We don't. She designs our trust badges, or we look online and we kind of take different
all the
logos
icons together and put them together, and I put it because once I create it, I don't need a. Oh, by the way, I actually have trust badges for you guys in the bonus section that I created for the checkout. I will make this video available later. Now we have a training session of I actually go through, actually the camera is right here. I'm so sorry. I was looking at this up. Okay. Anyway, I have a training session showing you exactly my whole process, my thought process from starting from scratch of how I create a Shopify store, the designing, the thought process of what I want the customer to experience when they come in. Where do I look for my stock images? How do I create my logo? How do I design my images on my store? Also throughout suggesting that there's some color code that you can use for the add to cart button or checkout button, and everything I have in there for in the bonus section that I think I already made available. You can check it out later. But I do have the training video that I will make available for you guys after this Q&A session. And I also create a reference sheet where you can look for all those references, where you can look for images and all that. But the trust badge I also created to include in there for you, especially checkout. I can't remember if I put in the, because I have a trust badge on the description page, which I always put the same thing on every time I upload a product. And I have another trust badge at the checkout where on top where you can put your logo, I put my logo and also trust badge again. So this like creates a trust as they go through the process. So I will make sure I include both of them in there for you guys to download and go ahead and use it for your store.
Yeah, so that's important. She just mentioned the checkout trust badge. So you'll have like your logo. So when they check out, the Shopify basic one it'll have like your logo and then nothing really on top. But if you put up the trust badges, that actually we saw an increase in conversions when we actually added that.
Yeah.
It makes people feel safe. They know you're a legitimate company, and it's the verified. I think it's the verified sign. It's I forget the Norton. And then a couple more, or the McAfee. I forget which ones, but we have it. We'll have it for you.
Yeah, it's all in the
also be aware of on the product page one. It depends if you're doing free shipping or not, because ours includes the free shipping, and we took out free shipping now, so we're actually charging for shipping. So we actually took that one out, so we're not using that one anymore. But 100%, guarantee or 100% satisfaction or money back, or it depends on what your policy is.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. And we don't want you to put something that's misleading, right? Don't false advertise, right? So just make sure you have all your all your policies all set up the way that you want them.
Okay. So Laxman has a question. What to do for someone who, number one, video view 95% but not clicked. Number two, link clicked and viewed the content but not added to cart. Number three, added to cart but not purchased.
Okay, that's a good question. Are you asking what to do in terms of ads?
Do we need to retarget them, or what do we need to do?
Oh yeah. So that's more of I would definitely retarget them, right? If somebody's video viewed 95%, I would retarget. And then you can.
So what kind of ad to use, and is it going to be like a PP ad or other link?
No, I would. Yeah. So you can do different ones. Okay. So like Thomas was saying, and he said this in the previous Q&A, is if somebody's video viewed but hasn't clicked, you can retarget them and optimize for a VC, right? Or you can, or if it's the VC and they hadn't added cart, you can retarget the VCs and retarget them with an ATC, right? To kind of take them into the next. Take that into the next step, right? That's the thing. I always, honestly, for me, I usually just go straight to purchase. Like that's my thing is conversion, and then I do purchase. And what I'll do is on my ad, I'll change my ad. I'll change up either the video or I'll add an additional discount specifically just for my retargeting group because I know they've already looked at. They're a little bit warmer. They're a little bit hotter. So I might do a 20% off. And that's something completely up to you. You can also just leave it the same and target them and test, right? You want to do your Casa 62 and test it, right? You can test it.
Okay.
Let me see. So add it to cart but not purchase, same thing. You can go ahead and retarget them with a purchase. Like add it to cart, ATCs, you want to always be sending them some sort of ad because these are going to be your warmest, hottest leads.
And also remember to use abandoned checkout. Abandonment protector app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it automatically sends emails to those people who added to cart but didn't purchase. It can allow you to send 3 emails to follow up with those people. So GP John is asking, what is so special on OCU?
Yeah, sorry, there is one. Sorry to interrupt. There is one more thing. So, do you suggest using product product ads, dynamic product ads for that retargeting?
Yeah. So for abandonment, so if you watch you were able to watch the video prior to this? Did we give you enough time to finish the whole thing? I'm not sure if we gave you enough time for that. But in that we suggested.
Yeah, I did watch it.
You did watch it. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, we definitely recommend like as starting, right? Like there's definitely start with abandonment cart protector. It's $8 a month and it's well worth its money. Trust me.
Yes.
Like you make one sale, you've already made it back. And trust me, you will get sales from that because people always it'll work. It'll work. You just want to make sure that it's set up right.
Yeah, but we don't have an email ID for all the people, right? Who added the cart, who might not necessarily pass through the checkout and enter the email ID, right? So
yeah, once they put their email in, it's it'll automatically save. Yeah.
So for the people who did not enter the email and just completed add to cart and not completed the checkout, right. I mean, if there are like only
then you retarget them on Facebook. So you're going to create a custom audience, right? You're going to create a custom audience for ATC add to carts, right? In the last 30 days, 180 days, 14 days, whatever it is that you want to do. And then you're going to create an ad that goes out to them specifically. All right. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, so
what
thank
else?
you, Mary. OCU is one-click upsell app after checkout. So what is so special about on OCU?
Yeah, so the special thing about OCU, I think I covered this already, is just that you can offer the upsell after somebody has already purchased, where most upsell apps are going to come in, right? Like you add to cart and then all of a sudden you get a pop-up that says, hey, would you like to add these boots for just an extra $10 or something like that, right? So it works. Like I said, it works. It's just the other upsells, at least the ones we've used, they tend to slow down the load page, and OCU allows you to make the offer after the purchase is already secured.
We currently have an app called Frequently Bought Together. We would recommend that app as well, which works kind of like Amazon, where you purchase something on the bottom of it. It shows, oh, when people purchase this, they also purchase this. And so it worked for us in the very beginning. I don't know recently, but in the very beginning, people really start adding all the stuff that's been showing on the Frequently Bought Together. So we recommend that as well.
Any videos on Klaviyo setup, abandonment cart, Wheelio? Okay, so for Klaviyo, so when you sign up, Klaviyo is very important. We like it. I love it. I actually love it. Yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily say you need it immediately. So if you're not, the reason why is because Klaviyo is a little bit expensive. Pricey. It's going to be more expensive than all the other ones, but it can also do the best. Like it does the most. So one of the things that Klaviyo does really well is it segments lists really well. So you can create lists, right, where somebody purchased or they placed an order for a specific product, and you can also do it at a specific time, right? Or you can also, what I like about Klaviyo is that you can it's somehow connected to your Facebook. It's integrated with Facebook, where it'll take certain, like if you have like, for example, a Wheelio list, it'll take those leads and it'll create, you can have an ad set up for it where it'll retarget those people automatically for you. It's quite advanced, quite sophisticated.
Also, they make sure the emails, I don't know if they make sure, but I've used MailChimp and other mailing system, and I use Klaviyo. I realized that Klaviyo's really do bring sales for us after sending out the email marketing emails out to the customer, versus when I use MailChimp, we rarely, almost actually not rarely, never got any sales out of all those emails that I sent out. So I think MailChimp, because it's free, and it's very possible that I will end up in people's junk mail. So I don't really recommend MailChimp. There are probably other email system out there, but right now Klaviyo works really, really good for us. Really, really good. And when it comes to abandonment, I do right now, I'm trying to transfer everything. I love abandonment card protector, especially in the beginning, because it gives you 3 email follow-up for abandoned card. You can also create 3 emails follow-up for people who purchased from you. Also, you can send out thank you email. So if you want, maybe I can create a training video later on, maybe sometime next week. I will keep you guys updated. I can create a training video, kind of just guide you guys through it, of where everything is and how to operate it. I can definitely do that for you. Wheelio.
Yeah, so well, back to Klaviyo. Klaviyo, if you, or when you decide, I should say, when you decide to use them, or if you decide to use them now, then you can actually set, what happens is that you have to actually set up a demo with them, and you'll talk to one of their reps, and they will guide you through the process of how Klaviyo works, how to set up the flows, et cetera, et cetera. Wheelio is actually pretty easy. I could definitely, yeah, I can share some tips with you. Actually, yeah, our Wheelio gets pretty good results. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So I will go ahead and create a video on Wheelio setup. It'll probably be like a 5-10 minute video, really short.
I love Wheelio. It's so cute too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, Wheelio, I like Wheelio a lot.
Okay, cool. So let's see.
What
How
else we
to
got?
set up trust badge on checkout page. It depends on it depends on the theme that you use. You basically set it up from your theme, where you go customize your theme, and based on the theme that I use, which it will be included in the look over my shoulder training video, that I go over the whole process of how to create a store from scratch through the creative part of it. And then at the checkout area, where basically the theme section, where you go customize theme, and you click on checkout, and you have to click on checkout first. And then on the left-hand side, there will be a place for you to actually customize how your checkout page wants to look like. That's where I actually upload the trust badge. However, that's based on the thing that we're using, which is called Retina. And I don't know about other ones. I haven't really used other ones, but definitely check it out. See if it works the same way for your thing. I hope that works. And okay, the next question, Laxman, what do you think is good? Number 1, add to cart percentage. Number 2, purchase conversion percentage.
Say again. What do you think is a good add to cart percentage, purchase conversion percentage? Purchase conversion is anywhere, like if you're going from store conversion, like how many people actually get there. Store conversions they say it's, the average is about 3%, something like that. Ours is right around 3, 2, it's between 2 and 4. Those are really good, but it really depends on your product too. It depends on what you're selling. So obviously a lower ticket item is going to sell more, and you should have probably a higher percentage on that. And I know I asked Thomas this question too, and he told me that, everyone's different, because there's some stores that have 6%, 6% conversion rates, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's that much more profitable than one that gets 2 or 3%, because it really depends on what the item is, what the store is about, and the whole you got to look at the whole overall picture, right? Okay. So, so I don't want to just say, yes, obviously if you can get 10, 12% conversions on purchases, that's freaking awesome, right? Typically the higher, the better.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's necessarily always going to be, you know, super profitable. Um, right. So it just goes back to that. Let's see.
Thank
Would you
you.
recommend adding trust badge? Okay. So yeah. So Norton Bear sign trust are copyrighted, correct? So you got to make sure when you put those up that the links are clickable to those sites legally, right? That's what you have to do. And Thomas knows more about that, so we can ask him more about that.
Okay. Jonathan, you said you go straight to conversion. Do you do PPE test first when testing a product, or are you going straight to conversion without PPE testing?
I've done both. I used to start with PPE just to see kind of the engagement and see is it a product I want to test towards purchases, especially when I had a limited budget. Now, if it's a new product, I just run them both. I just run them both at the same time, and then I look and I just kind of see, okay, how's the engagement? Engagement's good. Okay, am I getting purchases? Okay, good. If I'm not, and I'm looking at the engagement and it's doing horrible, and I'm not getting any purchases, I'm probably going to kill that ad. But I spend about $200 to $300 testing, you know, a day testing a new product. So I know if I spend, you know, $200 to $300 and I'm not making any sales, I'm gonna kill it, right? I'm gonna just stop that ad.
Okay. Cool. Hi, Jonathan. Thomas said he will give us Klaviyo email sequence so that we set it up that way. Can you please remind him once?
Yes, we will. We
Okay,
will
I'm
remind him.
gonna
Can
put
you
that-
send me remind me to remind him, please? Send me a Facebook message. I know I have you on Facebook.
Okay, yeah. All right. So then Chef asks, when using frequently bought together, how do you plan for different product being shipped and deliver at different times?
Oh, that's a fulfillment question, but it's very simple. We just let people know that you have products coming from, you have different warehouses in different areas, and you know, we have some in the U.S. and then we have some in China, and you know, they're coming from different buildings and different you know, and they know most of the time, as long as you let them know, like, hey, one package is going to come in a separate, you know, your items are going to come in separate packages. They understand.
So yeah, this is what I do, and I already added it into the bonus. I will make that available, which is I've created a canned responses for customer service, which you will get a lot when you do drop shipping. Where's my product? How come I only get some of my product? How come it says USPS says it's delivered, but I didn't receive my, all those problems. I create canned responses for you guys to use. I will make it available later. But how I tell our customers about not receiving the products or receiving the product separately is that number one, I put it in the thank you page. I let them know, thank you, you're awesome. Thank you so much for your purchase, blah, blah. But also letting them know, hey, you know, this is the shipping time. Also, you may receive some of your product first since we have multiple different fulfillment centers. But you will see it in those canned responses. Hope that helps. And next, what's the difference between setting up an abandonment sequence with Klaviyo versus abandonment cart protector? The functions are similar, right? Okay, abandonment cart app. It's very
it's the same. It's the same.
It's almost
they function the same.
They function the same, but I suggest Klaviyo. Once you get a lot of sales, you have enough people in your list because it can do so much more. Abandoned carts, it only allows you to set limited amount of emails. However, recently I just received an email from Abandonment Cart saying that, oh, they have upgraded their version where they allow you to send out email marketing versus before they couldn't do that. They just let you do 3 emails abandoned cart, 3 thank you, 3 follow-up email for people who purchase, and 1 thank you email, and a few other ones that are not so important. That was all that they can do, and it was a very, very user-friendly. But Klaviyo, you can do so much more. You can segment everything. You can target specific people, specific audiences, send them certain things to this kind of group. But other than that, just abandonment cart, they function about the same. Okay.
Yeah. It's more about, you know, if you have enough, if you're making sales and you're making money and you have Klaviyo now, then you don't really need abandonment cart, because you can set up the same, like we just transferred everything from abandonment cart now to Klaviyo, and it's still working. So we don't need, you don't need both. We just suggest abandonment cart in the beginning because you only pay $8 versus, $100 a month.
Yeah,
right? So
worth a buck. Okay. Any thoughts on sand lane?
I don't know what send lane is, so I don't have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. What are the good alternatives to OCU and how much OCU costs? Would you recommend pre-upsell before checkout? Is it a good idea to do that? Please create a training video on abandoned cart,
We'll do
please,
that.
with sample email. Sure.
Okay, so OCU costs, I believe, 150 a month. I think it's 150 a month, and it'll generate about 30% more than what you typically do. So it's pretty good. And also OCU connects. It's very compatible with Klaviyo. So that's another good thing about that. Can you do regular upsells? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's for us, it's preference, and I'd rather not, put something up in front of somebody's face before they buy. I'd rather them just buy. I'm more like you can see, right? I go straight to the purchase. Just buy it first. And then I'll offer you an upsell, right? Because our email, like really, guys, like when you're on the back end and you can do email that's really where a lot of the money is at, right? This retargeting and then your back end, right? Because all that is free marketing, right? It's free advertising. You don't have to pay Facebook anything. You just send out an email to your list. And if you get $500 in sales, cool. You just pay cost of goods, whatever that is. You don't have to have that fee, right, that you're paying Facebook anymore. So it's worth it for us because our list is pretty large now, or it's a decent size. It's maybe 5,000-6,000, but it's good. Every email we send out, we can expect about $500 to $1,000 in revenue, and it's nice.
Cool. Do you use VAs? Yes. Oh my gosh, I cannot stretch more. So this, I think Thomas has a training video on VAs, right?
We have a bonus on that to help you find VAs.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
Yeah, we recently just hired one. We've hired a few and fired quite a lot. And recently we finally found one that is, she's legit. We like her. We definitely highly recommend VAs, especially when you start to get busy. We recently had a really bad decision that we made because we found a winning product. We didn't want to do drop shipping during Christmas time because I don't want to deal with customer service later. And so we decided to buy bulk orders to ship to the US and fulfill it ourselves. Do not ever do that. Like, unless, even if you have lots of time, don't do it. It's a bad idea because you got to buy shipping label, envelopes, you got to pay for, stamps. And the main thing is you got to pack it. And that sometimes you got to track inventory. And so I accidentally sent someone a package without putting the necklace in there. And they call us and say, are you guys scamming me? I'm going to sue you. I was like, I'm so sorry. That was a mistake. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that. So we recently hired a VA. She's pretty good. It depends on what you're looking for. Some people are looking for skill set. And they already have the experience. That's all great. But for me, it's very important that they're honest, integral, and they're open with me with anything. Even if they make a mistake, I want them to let me know. If they want to ask for days off, as long as they let me know. And she's been doing pretty well with that. But in the beginning, she needed to training session. But other than that, she's been doing really well with our customer service, which we're really happy of, especially during busy season like Christmas. You will want a VA to help you because you get a lot of customers asking, where's my product? How long does it take to ship? You just don't want to deal with that. And also it's a stress to actually wake up in the morning to tons of emails because I realized not a lot of customers are very nice. So the way they talk to you would influence your mood for the day. And so if you hire somebody that's, that's expertise in this area, let them do it. I highly recommend it, especially during busy season. And we have a training video showing you how to look for them. Okay, so.
Recart. I don't use Recart. I haven't. I know there's Recart and then there's CartHook too. I haven't used either one. I've just stuck to Abandonment Cart, and Klaviyo. Those are the only ones I've used.
Okay.
And
so
Mary, hang on real quick. Mary placed into the chat official page of OCU. Yep, that's their page, and you can get OCU from there. Like I said, there's like a setup. Like I honestly am going to do that in January. So I didn't want to mess with my current thing because it's Christmas season and everything's working really well right now. So we didn't decide to input that yet. So in January, we're going to start OCU as well. I think Thomas might have an affiliate link too if you wanted to use that, but that works too right there.
Okay. How to automate order fulfillment and send tracking information automatically. So there are two apps. There is Overload or Shopify.
Shopify
will save your life.
Yeah.
We use Shopify. And as long as you set it up right in the beginning, it connects. Basically, you can just one click from AliExpress, and then it uploads the product for you. And you can one click, and it basically fills everything for you while you're doing fulfillment center. Not fulfillment center. While you're fulfilling the order, everything is one click and everything's connected, and you don't even have to worry about tracking number because it's connected to AliExpress to your Shopify. So once the tracking number becomes available from AliExpress, it automatically sends it to Shopify, and Shopify will send an email, shipping confirmation email to your customer, letting them know, hey, your shipment is on the way, and here's your tracking number.
Yeah, Shopify will save you tons and tons of time because it's I remember when we did our first $1,000 day and Bridget was so excited, and then she spent like 4 hours fulfilling them manually and then she was like no, and we got Shopify and it was so much easier. Just 40 50 orders, click, you're done.
Yeah.
And it updates everything. It's very user friendly. It stores all of your everything's connected, right? Shopify is all connected to your Shopify store, and Shopify is connected to AliExpress. Yeah. So and also Thomas is actually just did a webinar with the owner of Shopify, and they have like a special going on for their upgraded version, not the regular version, but it's like an upgraded version. And now they're saying that they can actually drop ship and source from like these big retailers, a lot of different stores. I don't know all the stores, but Thomas mentioned Walmart was one of them. So I was like, wow, okay, that's fairly interesting. So we'll definitely we'll ask Thomas to see what that is all about. And I think he's going to share that recording as well in the group.
Can I ask something real quick, guys?
Sure.
When you're paying on your orders on Shopify, are you paying for them individually, or are you paying for them in bulk? Let's say you got 50 orders in a day.
In bulk.
Yeah.
How are you processing your payments?
In bulk.
In bulk.
So okay, so I just want to understand we're paying for our orders, right, from AliExpress? That's the question. Are we paying in bulk for? Yeah.
I use a Burlo. I'm about to switch to Shopify. The big problem with the Burlo is it's a one-click system as well, but the biggest problem is I have to cancel the order and do all my orders and then pay it after I do, let's say, 60 orders or whatever. Is Shopify literally you do your 50 orders at one click and then you pay? Or
you can do both. So you can do, we do it the way that you're doing it with Overload, I think. So we order, and then, right, you cancel it out, and then you have one big bulk, right? I do that mainly for credit card security reasons, like, because if I do a bunch of little orders, actually whether you do it either way, the credit cards I always got to call them. But now I do it all in one. So yeah, you cancel it, and then you go in, and then you load all the products, and then you select them all, and then I just pay it one bulk order. So if you're doing that and it's working for you in Overlay, if you want to do it the other way, you can click it, but then it still takes you through the whole system, and then you pay now for one order, and then you do the next, but it opens a new window each time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay. Then FBI.
I think it's supposed to be Facebook.
Oh, should help me. That's cool. Then FBI should help me for my pre-upsell. Nikki, that's a cool typo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should help me for pre-upsell, right? What do you mean by pre-upsell? I'm not quite sure what that means. Can you elaborate that a little bit? See if he's Frequently bought items. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I was like,
FBI.
okay. Yeah, so the app is called Frequently Bought Together. So I guess that would be FDT. But yeah, frequently bought items. Okay, so frequently bought together is the little thing that has, yeah, you can choose, like if somebody puts in a wallet, let's say, right? They have a wallet, they're putting it in their thing, and then they'll say, hey, do you want a purse too, or whatever, right? Like, so yes, or frequently bought together are these items bought together with this one. So yes, it helps with the upsell. Correct. We actually get quite a few of our, especially Christmas time, like a lot of people bought a lot, and I'm looking where they're coming from. A lot of them are coming from the frequently bought together.
Okay, cool. Thank you for posting a link. How do you pronounce it?
Mary?
Mary?
I think it's Mary.
Okay, cool. Typically, how many products to test to find a winner?
Oh, that depends. That's really, really depends. It depends on your niche. It depends on the products you're testing. And here's the big thing is it depends on your ads, because you can create a winner, right? You can create something that, you can create a product that may not seem like a winner, but if you can create the right ad, then you can create a winner out of it. So just for us, honestly, for us to find our first winner, we found, it was in that previous video where we did the hip hop necklace. She found that necklace, right? This hip hop necklace thing. And I was already in a group that was about, I'm into hip hop. I'm into underground rapping, stuff like that. And I knew that was a very niched audience. So I said, okay, let me try testing. So I started with $5 a day, and it made a sale in the third day or something like that. And from there, we just kind of kept going with it. But that happened to be, so I got lucky, right? It was one, it made a sale. So I don't know. After that, we tested, 10, 20, probably about, to find our next one, we tested about 20 more and found one. So a different way that I test, if your budget is not as high, I tested. So I used to test with PPE ads, right? That's what I would do. I would get a bunch of different products and I would send them out. And I'm not saying do this. I don't know if this is a smart way to do it because it wasn't systemized. It was just kind of complete opposite of what Thomas is saying. Like I did all the wrong things, right? I just got a bunch of different audiences and I took a bunch of different products and I would put them out there and I would do a $5 per day budget for all PPE. I'd do like 10 at a time and I'd let them run for like 2 or 3 days and I'd analyze the data. And when I found the one that had the most engagement for the lowest cost, I would switch those to purchase. And that's exactly what happened with our new winner. I did that, like it blew everything out of the water. Like everything, like if you get 5, 6 cent, 5 cent CPCs or CPCs on a or cost per engagement, then it's decent, right? It's a potential winner. It doesn't mean it's a real winner, but that one had like 1 to 2 cent, and I was like, wow! And it had like double the likes and comments and everything on everything. So I'm like, wow, okay, so let me try this. And when I did, it just completely took off. Now, keep in mind, I had already built my pixel, so my new winning product is very similar. The audience is very similar to the hip hop necklace too. So that's why it kind of took off more too. I think there's definitely factors in it. And I didn't know anything about pixels at that time, so I didn't realize that was the case. But now looking back, we had $30,000 in sales from this hip hop thing, and basically the next winning product fit that demographic too.
Cool. So Chef is asking, where do you search for VAs? Do you use a fulfillment company? Okay,
so great question. This will be opened up at the end of Build Scale Done, the program. So what we're going to do, so we use onlinejobs.ph, and you're going to see a video that introduces it all. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It beats we've tried Upwork. We tried Craigslist, in the Philippines. This one is kind of like a Craigslist in the Philippines, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a combination of Upwork and Craigslist put into one. And it's It worked for us, but here's the thing. You've got to be really selective because you have a lot of options.
So this is why I would recommend, because once we post our job description out there that we're hiring, we got like 80 applicants, and it takes a lot of time of having to go through them all. So what we did is, I think what Jonathan did was he sent out a template of questions to ask them in the beginning, like short ones. And if they respond, see how they're responding to your question. Then we sent like another 15 questions to them. But in this 15 questions, you ask the question you specifically want to understand about them. So some of the questions that I asked is, because I want to know how they see themselves, how they deal with certain situations, and how they were from their previous job. So I asked, like, what do you like about yourself? What do you think there's things that you can improve about yourself? In your previous jobs, what were your experience? What was your worst experience, and how did you resolve it? So I want to know everything, how they answer it. Also, I asked them about, like, what do you do in leisure time? And there are some of a few questions that help me understand them and see how they respond to me, to understand, hey, do I want to actually interview them? So think of the questions that you want to ask to filter out the people who are actually not serious, because once we send those big chunk of questions out, we actually only got like 5 or 8.
Yeah, it's a good indicator, right? If you send out, like, because then you find out who's serious. If somebody's willing to take the time to answer like 15 to 20 questions and actually do that, then hey, they're gonna at least be willing to work, right? They're taking the time, so it's a good, nice little filter. And then you also got to understand on those, a lot of in the Philippines, you can say, hey, I'm looking for a Shopify expert, or I'm looking for a graphic designing expert, and they just they think they're experts because they took a Photoshop class, right? Or they'll say, oh yeah, I know Shopify, and then when you talk to them, they're like, yeah, I'm a Shopify expert. I saw a Shopify store once, right? But I've never used it directly. And it's you're like, wait, what? This is not who I'm looking for. So you've got to really test them. And then we do a Skype interview or a Zoom interview to get to know that person a little bit more. I think John, the guy that created this, he says to just do everything via email. Because in the Philippines, they're very shy. They don't like to really show their face or even do calls sometimes. So you may like scare away a really good candidate. That's what he says. We believe in, I like to meet who's, if we're going to work with somebody, I want to know who that person is personally.
Yeah,
but that's just for us. So you can go by what works for you guys.
Would you guys want those questions that we send out to VAs? If you do, I can include it in the, Okay. All right. I'll put that on my to-do list.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and add that for you.
Okay.
They're good questions. And then you can add on and take off whatever you want, whatever works for you. Okay. Thanks. That's great.
Okay. So.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
I just added him.
Oh, you added him? Okay,
I just added him.
Good.
Wajahat, I just added you. Is there a limit on that bulk order using Shopify?
Yeah. Okay. So, I know what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I think I know what he's talking about. Well, one is Shopify, right, has different tiers, right? Different pricing ranges. So if you're doing, let's say, under 500 orders, it's one price. If you're doing up to, between, 1,000 and 5,000, it's another price. So that's one part. Now, in terms of the bulk order from AliExpress, that's where you're paying for everything at once. There's no, I haven't run into any issues yet. But typically I do about, I'll pay for anywhere from 50 to 100 orders at one time. But now I don't really use Shopify as much because we're fulfilling with a fulfillment center now.
Okay, cool. Herman is asking, currently I'm using free theme and link Shopify on my store. I'm planning to change to Retina theme. Will it break the Shopify link between product and Ali store? I don't think so, because the one time he actually messed up our theme code. So our theme just didn't work anymore. So I had to uninstall it and then reinstall it. Basically uninstall it, it became a free theme. And then I have to reinstall the RedNet theme, and everything still works really fine. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's connected to Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's connected to Dropify.
You don't have to enter the CAPTCHA in Dropify.
Yeah, they now have a system where you can pay, like, I think it's like $10. You get like 2,500 credits where somebody automatically types in the CAPTCHA for you. So for people wondering what that is in Dropify, every order that you do, you have to type in a CAPTCHA after like the third order or something. You have to type it in for it to go through. Now Dropify has this thing, yeah, where you can buy credits and it automatically does it. I used it for a while. It's okay. It works. It does save time. You can do a bunch of orders all at once, and then the CAPTCHAs just automatically go through. It does work. I'm like very impatient though, so I like to do it and do it immediately because sometimes it takes 5 to 10 seconds for them to actually enter the CAPTCHA.
Cool. And thank you, Chef, for your comments. Your positive feedback means a lot to us. Also, Wajaha says, can you demo some classic ad?
Some classic ad. Yeah. So I'm not sure, like you saw the ad that I did prior to this. I did. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to make this video. So I will make a video on that headphones. I'll show you all the data on that. You saw the ad already. But I can show you all the data I had on it when I ran it between, I think it was July and August. And you can kind of look at the numbers that I had, and I will put that into the group. Give me about, give me a few days to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll put that in.
What is dark post?
Was it a dark post? Yeah, it was a dark post.
Oh, was it a dark? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I will share the questions with you in the members area, and I will keep you guys updated when we upload it. So I will go through what I need. So
we'll do that, and then we'll also add copy. So that was in the video prior. I think it was in one of our prior sessions yesterday on the engagement ad. So watch that, Nagesh. And you can see it's all in there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got everything. So I will have to do trust badges. Make sure I know one of them is for sure is already in there, but the one that I put in the product description, I'm not sure if it's in there yet. So I will double check on it. I will create a abandoned cart training video, the app, and we'll remind Thomas again about the Klaviyo email sequence.
Yep.
And I will share the questions to you guys in the members area. Give us a few days because it's been super busy these days. But whenever we upload something, we'll post on the Facebook to let you guys know. And you guys can, you can go check it out.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this out right now. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
Hold on. Somebody asked more questions.
Could you please release the Q&A for Facebook scaling live from today? I'm not seeing it. The Q&A. Oh yeah. The scaling live, so that will be Thomas for that, Kara. We will go ahead and make sure all the videos are going to be, because they have to render and then we have to upload them. And we'll make sure it gets there. Just give us about 24 hours for everything to load. I know we try to do it as fast as we can, and we'll do that.
Okay.
So let me go ahead.
So we're gonna stop here for